Have you ever felt a comforting presence, like an invisible hand guiding your steps? A whisper in the silence, assuring you that you're not alone. This longing, my friends, is often the gentle touch of God, a love so profound it transcends our understanding. He's there in the quiet moments and the bustling days, orchestrating a symphony of blessings we may not always see but certainly feel. This journey, our journey, is one of faith, trust, and the unwavering belief that we are never truly alone. Let's embark on this exploration together, seeking His hand in our lives and discovering the peace that surpasses all understanding. The concept of God's hand isn't just a comforting metaphor, it's a profound truth woven throughout the Scriptures. From Genesis to Revelation, the Bible reveals a God intimately involved in the lives of His children. His hand is a symbol of His power, His protection, and His unwavering guidance. It's in the gentle nudge that leads us to a new opportunity, the unexpected encounter that brings comfort and encouragement, and the quiet whisper of wisdom that guides our decisions. We'll discover that His presence is not a matter of chance or coincidence, but a testament to His unwavering love and faithfulness. The Bible opens with a resounding declaration. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God's hand, the very instrument of creation, brought forth the cosmos from the void. Imagine the vastness of space, the intricate design of a single leaf, the breathtaking beauty of a sunset. From the very first breath of life, His hand has been upon us, guiding, protecting, and sustaining. God's hand, once responsible for shaping the universe, is the same hand that reaches down to us today, offering guidance, comfort, and unwavering love. Consider the life of Moses, a man chosen by God to lead His people out of slavery in Egypt. Moses, a shepherd by profession, wasn't a likely candidate for such a monumental task, yet God saw in him a heart of compassion and a willingness to be used for His purposes. When God called Moses to confront Pharaoh, the most powerful ruler on earth, Moses trembled at the thought. But God reassured him, saying, "I will be with you." Exodus 3:12. With each step Moses took, God's hand guided him, providing miraculous signs and wonders that left no doubt about His presence. Moses' life, though marked by challenges and uncertainty, stands as a powerful testimony to the faithfulness of God. David's life offers another compelling example of God's hand at work. From his humble beginnings as a shepherd boy to his reign as the king of Israel, David's journey was marked by both triumph and tribulation. We see God's hand in David's life when he, a young shepherd armed with nothing but a sling and 5 smooth stones, faced the mighty Goliath. David's faith in God, though tested by fear and doubt, ultimately propelled him to victory. He declared, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." 1 Samuel 17:37. Even when David faced betrayal, persecution, and the consequences of his own sin, God's love never wavered. He remained faithful, guiding David's steps and ultimately establishing His kingdom. These stories offer a roadmap for our own journey of faith, reminding us that God's hand is upon us, even in the midst of life's wilderness. The story of Joseph, a man sold into slavery by his own brothers, offers a powerful illustration of God's hand working through adversity. Joseph, despite enduring unimaginable betrayal and hardship, never lost sight of God's presence in his life. His ability to interpret dreams, a gift from God, not only saved him from despair, but elevated him to a position of influence. Pharaoh, recognizing Joseph's wisdom and insight, appointed him as second in command over all of Egypt. Joseph's story demonstrates that God's plans are often far grander than our own, guiding us towards a future filled with purpose and hope. Daniel, a man of unwavering faith and integrity, found himself facing a test of loyalty that could have cost him his life. His wisdom and integrity earned him a prominent position in the king's court, but it also sparked jealousy among his rivals. These envious officials persuaded King Darius to issue a decree forbidding anyone from praying to any god or man except the king himself for 30 days. Daniel, a man of deep devotion to God, refused to comply and continued to pray openly. His enemies reported him to the king, who, though fond of Daniel, ordered him to be thrown into the lion's den. Yet Darius clung to a sliver of hope, saying to Daniel, "May your God whom you serve continually rescue you." Daniel 6:16. The story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, 3 young Hebrew men living in exile in Babylon, offers another powerful testament to God's protection. King Nebuchadnezzar commanded all his subjects to bow down and worship a massive golden statue. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, unwilling to compromise their faith, refused to bow. The king ordered them to be thrown into a blazing furnace, heated 7 times hotter than usual. Yet when the king looked into the furnace, he was astonished to see Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego standing unharmed, and a 4th figure, like the Son of God, standing among them. These stories, though separated by time and circumstance, share a common thread: the unwavering faithfulness of God. Joseph, sold into slavery, found himself elevated to a position of power, his life a testament to God's ability to transform despair into destiny. Daniel, facing a den of lions, emerged unscathed, his faith a shield against the jaws of death. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, staring down a fiery furnace, walked through the flames unharmed, their unwavering belief in God, a testament to his power to protect and deliver. These accounts remind us that we serve a God who is bigger than any obstacle we may face, guiding our steps and leading us towards his perfect plan for our lives. The Bible, filled with stories of divine intervention, may seem like a distant past, a time of miracles and wonders that have faded with the ages. But what if I told you that God's hand is just as active today as it was in the time of Moses, David, or Daniel? Every day, ordinary people experience extraordinary events, moments that defy logic and point to a power far greater than ourselves. These experiences stand as modern-day testaments to the God who parted the Red Sea and calmed the stormy seas. They remind us that the same God who worked wonders in the lives of his followers centuries ago is still actively involved in our world today. Consider the story of a young mother facing a life-altering diagnosis for her child. The medical reports offered little hope, the prognosis grim. Yet this mother, clinging to her faith, refused to give up. She prayed fervently, seeking God's healing touch, believing in a miracle even when the world told her it was impossible. Weeks turned into months, and against all odds her child began to improve. The doctors were baffled, unable to explain the sudden turnaround. But for the young mother, the answer was clear. God had heard her prayers and extended his healing hand. These stories, though seemingly ordinary on the surface, carry the unmistakable mark of the divine. They remind us that God's hand is often most evident in the midst of our greatest challenges, in those moments when logic fails and human strength proves insufficient. It's in those desperate hours, when we surrender our will to his and place our trust in his unwavering love, that we experience the full measure of his power and grace. These modern-day miracles aren't limited to grand, life-altering events either. They can be found in the everyday occurrences that often go unnoticed: a timely phone call, an unexpected encounter, a sudden burst of creativity, all gentle whispers of God guiding us towards a life filled with purpose and meaning. Recognizing God's hand requires a shift in perspective, seeing the unseen hand orchestrating our lives. Cultivate gratitude, recognizing every breath and blessing as a gift from our Creator. Trust that God is guiding our steps towards a glorious future. Miracles are often whispered in the stillness of our hearts. Be attentive to his whispers and grateful for his love. Our lives are like intricate tapestries, woven with threads of joy and sorrow. Each experience contributes to the overall beauty and complexity of the design. God uses the events of our lives to mold us into the individuals he created us to be. Sometimes the threads of our lives feel tangled and frayed. We face challenges that test our faith and heartaches that leave us reeling. It's during these difficult seasons that it can be hard to see God's hand at work. But even in the midst of our struggles, God is present. He's working behind the scenes, using even our most painful experiences to draw us closer to him. Just as a gardener prunes a vine to help it produce more fruit, so too does God use trials to refine our character. Recognizing God's hand in our lives requires more than just acknowledging his presence during times of crisis or celebration. It's about developing a heightened awareness of his presence in the everyday moments, in the subtle nudges, the gentle whispers, and the seemingly insignificant occurrences that make up our daily lives. It's about learning to discern his voice amidst the clamor and chaos of our busy world, to recognize his fingerprints on the canvas of our lives. Sometimes, God's guidance comes as a clear and unmistakable call, a burning bush experience that leaves no room for doubt. But more often than not, he speaks to us in a still small voice, a gentle whisper that requires us to slow down, to quiet our hearts, and to listen attentively. It might be a verse of scripture that speaks directly to our current situation, a song on the radio that brings comfort and encouragement, or a chance encounter with a stranger who shares words of wisdom or inspiration. The key is to be present, to pay attention, and to be open to the myriad ways God chooses to communicate with us. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate a greater awareness of God's hand in our lives is through the practice of gratitude. When we take the time to count our blessings, to acknowledge the good things in our lives, no matter how small, our hearts are open to the realization that we are constantly surrounded by his love and provision. Gratitude is like a magnet, drawing us closer to the source of all goodness. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, from our problems to our possibilities, from our fears to our faith. As we cultivate an attitude of gratitude, we begin to see the world through a different lens. We notice the beauty in the ordinary, the blessings in the mundane, and the evidence of God's grace in every aspect of our lives. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a choice we make each and every day. It's a conscious decision to focus on the good, to give thanks in all circumstances, and to trust that even when we don't understand, God is working all things together for our good. Living in the light of his presence means resting in his love and knowing he is always with us. Surrender to his will, trust his plan, and walk in obedience. Our faith deepens, hearts overflow with gratitude, and lives reflect his grace. We find peace, joy, and confidence in his presence. Let us live with gratitude and surrender to his perfect will. Even the most ordinary day can be filled with extraordinary grace. As we conclude our exploration of God's hand upon our lives, let the stories we've encountered, both ancient and modern, serve as more than just inspiring anecdotes. Let them be guideposts on our own journeys of faith, reminding us that we serve a God who is intimately involved in every detail of our lives. The tapestry of our existence, woven with threads of joy and sorrow, triumph and tribulation, is held together by the unseen hand of a loving Creator. He is the master artist, shaping our lives with purpose and intentionality, even when we can't see the bigger picture. The journey of faith isn't about avoiding hardship or escaping the storms of life. It's about clinging to the unshakable truth that God is with us through it all, his hand guiding our steps, his presence bringing comfort and strength. Just as a shepherd guides his flock with love and care, so too does our Heavenly Father guide us with tenderness and compassion. He knows the path ahead even when we feel lost and uncertain, and He promises to never leave us nor forsake us. Let us go forth with hope and purpose, seeking His presence and trusting in His love. The world may distract us, but God is constant, His love unwavering. May we never take for granted His presence in our lives. Cultivate hearts of gratitude, recognizing His hand in everyday miracles. Walk with Him and discover peace and joy in His will.